It's my birthday month. Welcome to July, the greatest month that ever monthed. I am a Cancer. I am born later in the month of July on the 21st, and I wanted to take this opportunity at the first of the month to ask for a favor, nay, birthday present from you, oh dear YouTube family, and also just make a quick announcement. So, first, the birthday present that you could give to me is just looking on this channel, finding your favorite video of mine or the video that you think might help the most people and sharing it. Honestly, that's all I want you to do. So you could go on a Reddit thread or a Facebook group, or you could share a video with your great aunt Mildred, whatever it might be. But Lord knows there's a lot of people out there who could benefit from what I'm teaching here on YouTube. About 20% of the population has irritable bowel syndrome. Another fair chunk has GERD or gastritis or celiac disease. There are so many people out there suffering with tummy problems, and they just don't need to be. We can help them feel better. And I would be so honored if you would share one of my videos in some capacity during the month of July or any time for that matter. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but recently I've been pretty excited. My YouTube channel is gaining a little bit more momentum. We're getting more and more people watching these videos and subscribing to my channel, and I'm just so excited. And I want the YouTube algorithm gods, the overlords over at YouTube, I want them to know that my channel and my videos are worth promoting and that they should rank my videos higher in organic search and show them and promote them to more people. And the way that we can do that is if you share my videos far and wide. So thank you in advance for those of you who are willing and able to do that. It would really mean so, so much to me. The other thing I wanted to do was make an announcement, and that is slightly embarrassing, but I'll tell you anyway. As some of you know, I have had some more ambitious, more expensive ideas for videos on this channel where I do split sample comparisons with things like the GI map and the OAT, for example. And I have plans to do other similar experiments that involve testing or split sample testing in the future. But I had made a Patreon about a year or so ago to help me cover some of the fees associated with running all of these stool tests and comping people for doing these tests. But funny enough, if you joined my Patreon, you might have noticed that you were never charged a single penny for that Patreon. And that's because apparently I set it up incorrectly. So I found out a little bit too late that when you set up a Patreon, you have the option to bill your supporters monthly or to bill them per creation. And what ended up happening is I created the Patreon and then I didn't really do much with it. And I thought, oh, I've just got some support coming in and how wonderful that is. And then it occurred to me that I never saw anything come in from the Patreon, despite having people who signed up. And I looked into it and I was under the per creation model rather than the monthly billing model. But sadly, when I tried to update it, when I tried to reach out to their customer support, they told me that there's no way to take an account that's set up the way I had mine set up and switch it over to the monthly. So what that left me with is rather than trying to fit my way of doing things into that model and frankly agonizing over like which posts are worthy of charging for and which ones are not worthy and like getting into the headspace of that, I decided to just create a new Patreon. That seemed easier, and I have it set up as a monthly support system. So if you would like to help me fund some of the more expensive studies that I've done on this channel, like the side-by-side split sample comparison studies with the OAT and the GI map, then I would love for you to join again. And what I'm going to do for the month of July is for anybody who joins that new Patreon, you can go into the Patreon community like message board feed thing. You can see I'm very experienced here. There's like a news feed or a thread where we could chat in there. If you go on there and post a question or a couple of questions, I'm going to do a Q&A on my birthday on July 21st. And I'm going to take the questions from my Patreon community for that Q&A. You can ask me anything you want within reason, but I don't care if it's something about me, my diet, my health. It could be something SIBO or IBS or microbiome related. The only thing I ask in those instances is that you keep it more broadly applicable. And there's two reasons for that. A is that way other people can benefit from my answer to that question. And also we've got to keep you safe. I don't know enough about your medical conditions and your history to offer you medical advice in this context. So please don't make it like your entire life story and now what should I do kind of a thing. But if you wanted to ask me a more general question like, what are my favorite herbs for GERD? Or what are my favorite probiotics for SIBO? Or what is the most effective thing for X condition or X symptom? I would welcome any of those questions. And like I said, I'm going to get the questions for this Q&A on July 21st from the Patreon community. And I will post this for everybody to view the video on YouTube later on in the month. But if you would like to submit questions for that Q&A, I would invite you to check out the Patreon. There are different levels available. And I would just appreciate your support so much. But B, I would love to answer your questions at my birthday celebration on the 21st. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video here on this channel.